Gentlemen and women, what up? Welcome to Wake Up Wednesdays. Welcome to you know what I just said right now? I have no idea. I am just in this flow state of a lot of energy and high vibrational flow. So let me try this again. What's up, you guys? Jonny Truelove here. Welcome to Wake Up Wednesdays. And on episode 6, which is today, we're going to be talking about a past of where I came from originally and why I got into this field of social dynamics, or we are known as the pickup artist, into understanding what it was meant for, what it was created, how I got into it, who was my teachers who taught me the basics and the fundamentals of all of this, and how I've evolved into what I am today, to this beautiful spectacle that you see before your eyes. I'm just kidding. Without further ado, let's jump right into this. So, we're here to talk about women, or men, or whatever you want to call it. Jonny Truelove is the representation of my name as a stage name that was created from pickup. And I've decided to hone in on that name, not knowing that there's two sides of a stick, and with any subject. So you take a skill set such as social dynamics, which was my mentors at the time, was Mystery and Matador. Shout out, what up? I still love you guys. I still keep in touch with quite a few people from that industry to this day, and I'm very grateful because the original teachings from whoever came about doesn't really matter. It's the way it's translated that matters most. And without mentioning too many names specifically, I can't really say that there's so many of them that are wrong. I think they're just empowered by a lower level of consciousness or vibrational pain to start learning a new skill set that solves their physical problem. Notice that I said physical, because through spirituality and understanding the clearance and the wholeness of what makes you as a human being, your morals, your ethical code, what you believe, your limited beliefs, what you use it for, it all comes into play, and who the teachers were and where you came from and how you were feeling when you learned this skill set, I should say. So honestly, for me, I came from a place when I was 18 years old. I wasn't, even through high school, I wasn't really exactly like Brad Pitt. I wasn't a stud like you see before you to them. but like I was very into the exotic looking types of women. And that's why, hence I've taken myself as far as I can take myself into understanding how to be more seductive, how to master seduction. I even became a male stripper, male exotic dancer for like freaking 10 years, dude, right? And I did this just so I felt like, number one, it was personally for me, and I love to dance, and I love to stay in shape, so it gave me an excuse to dance. And incorporate that with women and get paid for it, physically in this world, that just sounds like a dream job, you know? If every guy can do that, I'm sure he'd love to. Gotta do the work. But it's a very dark, like I said, any subject that you would pick up, no pun intended, there's always the other spectacle of it where it's very dark, and the vibration where it comes from. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, and I keep talking about vibration, I'll say this over and over and over again. The vibration of where it's coming from, like over here, doesn't matter how good you get with a skill set, no matter where it's coming from, is exactly what's going to show on the outside. And little do you know that you slowly start to become this robotic human being, where what it was intended for, as far as I was concerned, the way I felt it, the way it was taught to me, is to become your most attractive self physically, and to be a man and have a group of guy friends where you're not looking like a weird creepy guy and it's cringy. So, into these days, it's all translation, guys. It's the identity of who you are as a man and how you identify yourself when push comes to shove. Because a lot of the conditioning and programming of what media believes to be as love, and the things that you need to do as a man to demonstrate your love for a woman, is flawed. It's a flawed premise. How do I know this? Think about all the times you watched a romantic comedy or romantic movie, and the guy gets the girl by, how does he do this? They get into a big old fight, and that vibration of what it is, and that fight, if he got caught lying, cheating, whatever it is, he gives it time to play some sappy song. He shows up at her house with flowers. They make up. It'll never happen again. And you try to do that shit in real life, good luck. And it's funny. I had a friend of mine, actually, it was a student of mine, and before he came into it, he told me that story, and he thought what he needed to do is show up at her house with flowers and stalk her, basically, because that's the vibe she gets. And she already said, "Leave me alone." Just so you know, guys, no means no. Stop feeding your ego. That doesn't mean she's shit testing you or she wants you. She does not feel comfortable with you. And anytime you disrespect or go overstep your boundaries with women in that way, you are now stepping into realms of legal action, and that's something I don't support. And I don't support using this skill set as manipulation to lure girls in. Just be fucking honest, man. A woman can look you dead in your eye and respect you so much more if you look in her eye and you say your intentions. And don't do it in a creepy way either. That's why people like me still want to teach this shit, because I think it's super mega important. How to be a man, how to be most your attractive self, how do you carry yourself, what does your body language look like, how do you perceive yourself, how do you meet your higher self, how do you visualize. Don't be someone you're not. Don't copy what I say or what I do just because I told you to do it. Why don't you look inside within and find out who your higher self is? Who does he look like to you? Why don't you be your higher self and present yourself unapologetically to the woman that you want? Unapologetically. No one's going to fault you for it. There is no wrong in this. But at least you're honest. But pretending and lying and building a whole bunch of fluff just to present yourself as a high value male, women can see right through it. And so can men like me. Because let me backtrack a little bit. When I got into this, when I was young, when I was 18 years old, I had a girlfriend. Make a long story short, I did everything I thought I was supposed to do, okay? And I did this, I did this, yada, yada, yada. It didn't work out. She cheated on me, make a long story short. Took back the promised ring. I felt a lot of rage. Felt a lot of rage within inside me that I wasn't good enough. I was rejected. I wasted my time. I felt hurt. I felt even suicidal. I have attempted it. I've tried to jump out of a moving vehicle when she was driving and gave her this whole stupid sloppy vagina story about why she's to blame, and you know how gross that sounds, like when you hear that. Ask, put yourself in a woman's shoes. If she were to act that way with you, and it's like fatal attraction type shit. How that type of behavior doesn't mix well with attraction. Attraction is attraction. Attraction is high vibration. Attraction is what is. Attraction attracts love. Attraction is beautiful. If you know what that means. So I was just put in a dark place, and I promised myself that'll never happen again. Spend some time with myself. That's probably the best thing I could have done. But I started going out by myself a lot. And I came across what VH1 was now shooting, a very familiar show back in my time called The Pickup Artist. It starred one of my mentors, Mystery Matador. I don't know who the other guy was, but it doesn't matter. Well, I just started hanging around with the guys a lot. And they were out with students filming, and I'd see the intention for what it was used for. It was a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. Like, taking like a guy that you wouldn't think could have it all, and he does. And he's a genuine guy with genuine, really good energy, with genuine intentions. And yeah, and if you want to call it manipulation, call it what you want. I call it translation of who your identity really is. And these guys have really showed me the ropes, but I didn't want to be known as a pickup artist. So other terminology came into like a dating coach, or even the movie Hitch was actually created buy the scripts of the pickup artists. And they just use Will Smith as the guy to represent what a slick guy who knows all about dating looks like, because it's programming and conditioning, remember? So I go back to a dark past like this because I start to go out in the real world with a lot of my girlfriends. And if I'm out hanging out any place, any bar, doesn't matter, or any type of party or venue or whatever, it almost feels like the guy is approaching me to say hi to me. It's very unauthentic just to say hi to me, because they don't care who I am. They don't care what I do. They know who I am, and they use these skills to try to challenge another alpha. In our world, we call it AMOC. It's when an alpha meets another alpha to challenge his ability and to stay grounded in his frame. That's why I always said it's your identity. When you just know your identity, nothing shakes you off your block. You know who you are. You are who you are. It's why God created you, or Source. But I know my meaning and my purpose is much more than women. And it's much more than pickup. And I'd be happy to teach still, and I still do, the fundamentals in the correct direction of what it was meant for. To be your most attractive self and attract your queen and live a fruitful, abundant, beautiful life. Get married. Because something happens, guys, when systematically, robotically, when you do this as a job and you're out getting infield footage and your ego steps in where you're just trying to get footage. You systematically, without knowing this, you guys, you systematically put yourself in a very vulnerable position, because now you are no longer you. You are living the character of what these people worship you to be. You're a god, you're a legend. So you self-praise yourself, and it feeds your ego. But ask anyone who's been in the game as long as I have or longer, and look at their life. Evaluate it. Look at it. And feel it. Do they look happy? Have they gotten married? Did they move forward? Some of them still have a lot of resentment to the very own thing that they've created, because the darkness has set in, and their own, the own techniques that they taught was used against them. Some got cheated on. Some lost very, very, which was once a beautiful friendship. A lot of backstabbing behind others' backs by students themselves, just because the other end of the spectacle kicks in, and they are empowered by their own greed, and they create their own hell. And how do you move forward from that? And cosmetically, you no longer are the once young stud you were back when. It's difficult, because all it is translation. Now you're just going to look like the weird old creepy guy trying to go to 21, try to creep up on a 21-year-old at a nightclub, hang by the bar, and not really know what it's like to live and find your identity. For me, I used the trauma and pain to get better in this skill set and be social and develop real relationships and develop real friendships with other men, and all which I would be happy to trust if I had a girlfriend, like a serious one, or a wife, alone, because I only treat others how I would want to be treated. And sometimes, if you're not sure, look at their eyes. The eyes will always tell you the truth, and look into their soul. I have mastered that part of energy dynamics, where give me your pain, your trauma, and I'll show you true love. Because I'm empowered by the divine who has blessed me with such an amazing spirit by him, and I can gratefully humble myself to what man calls God. So I am a man, and he is my God, and there's only one. And if you don't believe in a God, then let's call him Source, energy. He is pure positive love. True love! It's not me. That's just my stage name. I'm Jonathan. Jonathan Truelove. Johnny O is my flawed physical premise me on this earthly planet. But guys, this technique was meant to become your higher self internally and express that to the world as a man and stand strong with your chest out and be proud of who you are and attract your mate, build a family, spread your offspring, teach these lessons to your son and daughters. And when you start going the vibration of love and mastering what you need to master here on this planet, and you look back, that will be your legacy. You know, good men, good leaders, good, well-intended people always come out top. And I don't give any attention to those who manipulate and think they get one over on people, because people like me see through people like them. And I can always show them the truth without me having to lift a finger. By their very own weakness is what it'll show. Because I stand true as a true alpha. I'm not better than anyone. I'm just better than the guy yesterday. That's all I care about. And I promise you, the beginning has just begun. And I have work to do, and so do all of you. And if you guys have any questions, this relates to anybody, if you need clarity, if you feel like you're being misguided, if you feel like you want more truth to all of this, don't be afraid, man. Instagram me. It's right down at the bottom. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, or not. Just like, whatever you want. I don't care. But I just know good things are coming for us all. And there's still a lot of good men out there, women. A lot of good women out there as well, men. So just, guys, start feeling for this. Feel the vibration of it for what it is. And you'll see past any deception, any pickup line, any ill or bad intended people that are coming your way. Alright? Let's get it. I didn't even do any stops on this one just because I'm in the flow. But I love you guys all. And let's get on the next one. Peace.